Hey, good afternoon, Tom again. I'm coming on today real quickly for a couple reasons. A little quick topic about debt and how it robs your wealth building strategies. Got a couple announcements I'd like to put out there as well. So turn on your notifications. The first announcement is our guest, Mark Gassert, and I are bringing in the one and only William Cody Lures, a real estate magnate expert. He's going to bring forward to what he's done in the transition, what's happening with this industry. So it's going to be an exciting interview. So I just want to bring up Cody real quick here. There he is. I'm going to put him on top of this backdrop here. Going live on Monday with Cody. So also I want to make an announcement for tomorrow evening where Mark and I are going to be hosting a webinar. It's by registration only. We'll be talking about the 8 silent killers of your wealth building strategies. 8 silent killers. And today I'm going to be talking about one of those topics that it's devastating most individuals, families, and businesses, the amount of debt services out there. I just read this in the paper yesterday, publication, that the American people have more debt than ever. And I've been in the financial service arena. It's always been a problem, but this number is staggering. It's unbelievable. Look at that guy, Cody, $1 million mentality. He does have the right mindset, which we covered the other day, having the right mindset for success. Thanks, Mark. I presume you're not going to be jumping on. I did send you an invite, but I know you're busy and you're sharing this out. So I appreciate it much for jumping on here for a couple minutes. That's my partner in crime. He is dialing for dollars right now for his other commitment that he has. So join us on Thursday, and there's going to be a registration link. I'll cover that here in a moment. And I just want to cover one major problem that I used to face, and it was an amazing difficulty to get over, but it was my mindset. I was conditioned like so many people, debt's good. And, unfortunately in America today, we live in a culture of illusions. People have all the bling and they have all the cars and the boats and the houses and the second cabins, but most of it's in debt. So it's an illusion. Most Americans are one paycheck away from financial ruin. So I just want to cover a couple principles here about this. Let's take a look. I always want to start with facts because people say, well, that doesn't apply to me. But let's take a look. The average American day, in the normal average income in America, a family is going to make in the neighborhood of $50,000 a year in a working career. It's about $2 million are going to go through your hands. But where does it all go? The average person is only going to have $60,000 at retirement. Well, what leads to this problem? You say it's not me. Well, you may know somebody that's affected by this, so you may want to share this out. We got Theodora. Thank you for jumping on. Hang in here. Glad to hear another person that's in the financial service arena helping families solve this problem. She's doing a great job out there. Hey, Scott, thanks for jumping on. Share this out. I know you made some comments the other day about, immediate family members may have this type of problem. Hey, we're just acknowledging everybody. Theodora's in the house and Mark's in the house. Hey, share this out. Glad everybody's jumping on today, but I just want to go through a few things here real quickly about what's really happening in America. It was in yesterday's publication, a financial publication I subscribe to, that there's more debt today than ever before. Listen to this number. I can't even comprehend it. And this is families, individuals. We're not talking government debt or corporate debt. We're talking about your debt. The average consumer. Listen to this number, $14.6 trillion. $14.6 trillion. I can't comprehend that. And that breaks down to some very significant numbers of what the average family or the median family has in amount of debt service. So let's take a look at some facts. I believe this is so important. Why is it only 3.5% of the American people have a net worth over $1 million? Debt's one of them. Mindset, procrastination. Those are things I covered the last 3 times I was on. So this is point number 3 is debt. There's no specific order. They all accumulate together and create problems for you if you're not aware of it. 40% of the American people can't come up with $1,000 for an unexpected emergency. Something happens to the car. Have an emergency room visit. All those things, that's a sad statistic. And 63% can't even come up with $500 of those 40%. Okay? Staggering numbers. And the American people are retiring broke. We just saw that previous slide that the average American only has $60,000. I guarantee you, if you're relying on your Social Security or some other subsidized retirement program, don't count on it, because the government is about ready to collapse with the amount of debt. It's just a matter of if, but when. So be prepared. Get yourself out of debt. Don't be a slave to the person that's selling you the debt. Debt is a very, very debilitating, emotionally, physically situation. Divorces, number one reason for cause for death is financially problems, and debt's the number one reason. Number one reason for chronic illness in America is stress, and number one stressor that the average person family has today is economics and money problems. So you can cure a lot of things by understanding that debt is robbing your wealth building strategy. So what I want to do is sort of migrate here to here. And I always like to start out with Warren Buffett. You should be looking at your finances the way you should be looking at a business, a balance sheet. You don't want to be losing money. How can you put plugs in the dike where money's leaking or you're losing money? Procrastination, taxes, all these things are ways that you're losing money. How do you stop losing money? Well, debt is one way. Stop losing money, because you're paying today's earnings next year at 20 to 30% interest rate. If you look at your credit card statements or even your cars or whatever, you're spending next year's money already. So it's putting behind, you're losing money paying it to the banker. We had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, Bob Hayek, ways to get out of debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage or whatever. So reach out to me or go back to our replays and touch base with Bob, because debt is a killer. So finding solution is what Mark and I are doing with elevate your profits. We're bringing in Cody Lohr's people in real estate, desire to get in what's going on, how to be more successful from the mindset to the bank. So Warren Buffett's one of my heroes in teaching the principles of winning with money. His simple, straightforward, common sense approach. If you learn those principles, you'll win long-term financially. So debt is a real problem. Ask yourself, do you hate opening your mailbox? Are you thinking about your debts all the time? First of all, when you have debt, it creates a lack mentality. It causes all sorts of problems. You don't have enough because debt is taking away your discretionary income that you can do other things with to build wealth with. So let's take a look. Again, the average American only has $1,000 to $5,000 in savings. Most families are living to paycheck. They're spending every dollar they have. The average family's expenses are about $5,100 a month. They're making about $5,200 to $5,500 a month. Average family, there's not a lot left over. And they're finding the average consumers are going to figure, I've got $300 left over. Maybe I can buy something else on credit. Okay. So, but anyway, it's a major problem, debt. Student debt loan is a major problem. If you're in college or a parent to sign, you got to find ways to get out of that. This is Theodora. You know what gets me the most? When my clients are excited to get money back on a tax return. They send all that money to the IRS and get it back next year with zero interest. Great point, Theodora. With zero interest on their money while they go into debt because the paycheck is not enough. You hit a home run there, Theodora. And that's one of the principles we'll be talking about tomorrow night is taxes. You know, and people think they're winning when they get some money back. I tell you what, it's a wrong strategy. You're paying way too much in taxes. I'm a proponent of being in business for yourself. Get tax advantages. Don't send it to Uncle Sam. Pay him enough to you know what your tax liability is for that year, and take that money that's sitting in the IRS, earning you zero interest, and start putting it to work for yourself. Start putting itself to debt equals financial killers of America. You got it right, Mark. You're dead on. So how do you solve these problems? Tomorrow night, the 8 silent killers of wealth building strategies, we've covered 3 of them. The right mindset, procrastination, we're talking debt. Tomorrow night, we're going to dive deeper in the other 5. And then the key is, if you can recognize the problems, you become aware, what are the solutions? Mark and I, in my life experience and what I've done financially, I'd be glad to share that with you. That's what we're about, help you win. That's why I got into the financial services arena. Back in 1983, I was angry that I was taken advantage of, and I wanted to do something about it. And my goal is to educate people how to win financially. I'm nothing special out there. I just learned through awareness, apply those techniques, and put in my life. And today I have financial critical mass. And critical mass, in my terminology, in my financial coaching, is that you've identified the amount of income necessary to support the lifestyle you desire. And everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to be different. So, one of the things that I see, and I think Theodora alluded to that indirectly, is think about the consequences if you do nothing. See, most people use procrastination. I'll get to it. They have a lot of reasons why they don't make decisions to start winning financially. But look at the consequences if not doing something. They're devastating. And I learned this a long time ago. Poor. I didn't want to be poor. And when you look at people who are succeeding at a much higher level, number one, they're curious. They're exploratory. They look. They're always looking for more and better opportunities. The average person out there has been conditioned for conformity, settling for less. Poor means this: passing over opportunities repeatedly. Today is an opportunity to rethink what you're doing. Are you passing it over? Are you willing to take a next step and find out how you can improve your well-being financially? Opportunities are always presenting ourselves in our lives, but why don't we do that? Why don't we take that? Well, the mindset is not where it needs to be. You don't have a mindset of the wealthy. And I'm glad I've had great mentors in my life. Yes, I've struggled. I've had setbacks and disappointments in life. And, I tell people this is a true story. There was a period in my life where my car got repossessed, just like Ken Walls. I used to park my car in different places around the block so that the repo man couldn't find it. But one day he found it, and I go out to get my car and I couldn't get to my office. Those things happen. And number one, there's a lot of circumstance around it, but the predominant ones, I had way too much debt. And guarantee you that was a heartbreaker. And I said, it'll never ever happen again. So one of the incentives to be here tomorrow evening to our webinar is anybody that registers and attends, you're going to get a copy of my book. I wrote this 6 years ago, so I'm rewriting it now, bringing it up to date, using more relevant statistics. Nothing's really changed in concept. You will get a copy of my book, Understanding Debt and How It Robs. What did I say here? How it impacts your wealth building strategies. So it's going to be published later this year, going to be updated. I'm going to be putting some things in there of what I did to get out of debt, how I've built multiple streams of income, building wealth. And part of what we're talking about tomorrow night, we've got strategies that I've employed in my life, how to create $1 million asset in 2 to 3 years. And I'm not talking about the physical amount in some sort of investment, but an asset that generates income to you on a month-to-month basis equivalent to $1 million. We'll cover that. That's a solution that we like to share. So with that, I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see. We got another comment coming in. Mark says, I want the book. I need the book. I will read it. Yeah, Mark, I'll send it right to you. You're going to be there tomorrow night. You just got to show up, buddy, and you make sure you get the book. All fun with you. Thank you, Theodora. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're leaving the country. I look forward to touching. Hey, touch base with you when you get back in town, Theodora. Like to catch up. I've got some things I'd like to share with you that may benefit you and your career path and your business as well. Mark, I'll get it to you. You got it, buddy. With that all said, turn on your notifications. This is our guest, William Cody Lures. He's going to talk to you about real estate. And that's one of the strategies that you can apply to build wealth. But you got to have some foundations in place before you take that strategy, because it will put you in debt if you don't have the right strategy, and it will bankrupt you as well. So there's strategy you have to employ. So with that all said, register, show up, you'll get my copy of my book, and it'll uncover some of the myths that we've been culturally and taught about debt in this book. So have a great day. Prosperity to you. Warren Buffett says, rules to win financially. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Never forget rule number 1. These are strategies that help you from losing money. You're going to have a wealth of money go through your hands in a lifetime. The question is why the biggest majority of the American people are not going to be able to retire as they hoped and visioned. They didn't plan to be broke. They didn't plan, that wasn't their strategy. It just through lack of awareness, knowledge creates those problems. So have a great day, everybody. God bless. Abundance. You have the right to be rich, both monetarily, spiritually, health, everything. You deserve that right. It is your right through abundance. Have a great one. We're signing out.